All right, how you doing today? I wanted to start making videos on how to do simple things in life. One of those being making courses. I know there's a lot of people who are against making courses, mainly because number one, of course, you have your scammers out there. Number two, courses don't necessarily guarantee that you're going to make money, right? Because those same courses don't typically show you the most important aspect of all product creation is marketing. If you don't have any marketing, if you don't have a way to get it to where people know who you are, what you're doing, what problems you solve, and is your course going to be effective, then you have no way of making money. So all that hard work of making a course goes down the drain. Well, I'm here today to discuss in detail just exactly how to mitigate that issue, with one of the ways being, most importantly, creating a course but not doing it in a way that is so difficult. If you don't know, I am Sean, your host of Note to Self, a show where we typically use AI tools in order to make money online. We want to do it as fast as we possibly can. And ultimately, my goal of this year is to not only have a successful online business for myself, but also get 10,000 people in the world of AI making money through any means necessary that is legal and legitimate, but most importantly, using AI to make their workflow easier. All right. So if that sounds like something you're into, you know exactly what to do. But for those of you who don't know, you're going to click the like button when you see a segment that you like, and you're going to subscribe when you're fully aware of what I'm able to offer you. I am on my last few days of work until this takes off. I'm pretty close, so I'm really liking what's going on, and I'm hoping that you guys are going to be a part of it. Within the description is the course that I am making. Now this course, sad to say for me, it took me about roughly a month and a half of actual work. That's what I believe, at least. I'm not timing it. I should have been timing it. But I've been saying I was going to make a course for years, and I kind of got deterred. I kind of got discouraged, because when you go into the online spaces, there are a lot of people who are against course creation. One of the things being, the people who are creating the courses are just saying that they made money from whatever they're teaching in the course. That doesn't necessarily mean that's how they actually made their money. And so, since you can't be fully aware of how they actually made their money, people are against courses, because they'll think, no, you didn't actually make your money from what you did within the course, or what you showed me within the course, but instead you made your money from selling the course. I don't want to be one of those individuals, so I took the time to use AI to develop applications that I intend on making a nice amount of money from. Okay? And so it is through those applications that I didn't make millions, right? But it's through those applications and making money that I believe and I understood that it's possible to make money with your applications. So if I teach you how to make your applications, you'll be able to make that same money too. Because I think of applications as a better alternative to, say, something like a YouTube video. YouTube videos you get to crank out for free. YouTube videos can send people to your applications, but YouTube videos don't initially make money when they first start off, right? a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of TikTok videos, a lot of Instagram videos and content you make for free and don't make any money from them, especially if they're not geared towards making money. Whereas an application somewhat already implies that at some point in time, money is going to have to be made. Whether it be through ads that you can already embed in your own applications, or whether it be from a one-time payment for purchasing of the application, whether it be in-game or in-app purchases within the application, or whether it be a subscription model within the application. Either way, money can be made relatively easily with applications. But today we're not talking about creating the applications. We're talking about making money through courses. It is in the development of my course that I stumbled upon the easiest method of creating a course. And the number one thing that you're going to do is you're going to be incorporating AI. Now, my personal favorite AI for both research and just assisting in the organization of an idea is going to be DeepSeek. And the reason why I use DeepSeek is more often than not, when it comes to DeepSeek, I don't end up reaching a word count or a token count for DeepSeek for the most part. Normally when I work with DeepSeek, it gives me what I need before I reach the end of the thread. As you guys know, free versions of things typically have a limit. DeepSeek is one of those things where it has a limit of how long the thread can go. I believe that's also basically the context window, if you will, meaning that it's not going to allow you to go beyond that because it begins to lose context over time and starts to become even more inaccurate. So to mitigate that, just start a new chat. But again, DeepSeek is one of those go-tos that typically gives me what I need before I reach its limits. All right. So that's why I posted here as number one. Now, after that, though, like I said, I stumbled upon a method by which you can better create courses. You can quickly create courses. And that is should be the number one thing. Notebook LM. My goodness. Notebook LM, they say it's a good research and development tool. But for me, personally, it is a even better course creator. Okay. Almost every time throughout the chat, as you're chatting within Notebook LM, it uses the sources that you have given it for reference. And what this means is, number one, you could specify what source you want it to look at and pay attention to. And number two, you don't really have to worry about that context window or memory or whatever the case may be, because it just re-references that your sources almost every time. Then you can always ask it to go to a specific source, reference a specific source, look within a specific source. So it's not going to necessarily be paying attention to the bulk of the internet in its entirety. So with that power comes great responsibility. But not only does Notebook LM always go to the actual sources that you actually want to use and reference as you're creating works, but the most important aspect to me is going to be the element of it creates PNGs, or it creates infographics. It can create the infographics, and it can create, most importantly, the slide deck or the side deck, which is a series of slides that it uses to, inform you and others of what those sources encompass. The cool thing, however, is within the side deck generation and within the infographic generation, it allows an input field that basically serves as a context window. And within this input field, you specify just exactly what you want those slides to be. The other day, I actually did an experiment where instead of telling Notebook LM that I wanted to have infographics and information detailing everything within the sources, I plopped in some scenery, plopped in some characters within my sources, plotted in some abilities, and ultimately went into the infographics generation and the side deck generation to find that I could create a comic book. I went into their input fields and typed in, didn't type it in, I actually had ChatGPT construct prompts about the scenes and about the characters, and threw that into that input field to get the output of a comic book or a comic book page. Two separate comic book pages, but nonetheless a comic book page. This allowed me to learn also that based on the amount of sources you input is going to determine how many images Notebook LM is going to put out. So I want to say 4 to 5 images per source is what it's going to put out. But again, AI is generative, so it's not always definitive. So I would much rather just say, if you want to have multiple pages of content, then you want to have just as many sources for how many pages you want. Okay, because to me it's somewhat up in the air as to what Notebook LM is going to put out for you. But we're still on the topic of courses. And the reason why I say this is because your course is going to need some infographics. Your course is going to need something that makes it to where you have a more cohesive piece for your students.